In this video, we are going to be focusing on glycolysis, and in this case, I'm going to briefly explain the concept of glycolysis, and I'm going to provide also basic mnemonics and tricks which can help us to memorize glycolysis and for us to be able to bring it back off it if possible. But before then, what is glycolysis? Glycolysis, this is simply the first stage of cellular respiration occurring in the cytoplasm of the cell. The primary goal is to convert one molecule of glucose into two molecules of pyruvate. So this is it. This is spelling for pyruvate. So we said the primary goal is to convert one molecule of glucose. Let's say here we have one molecule of glucose into what? Into two molecules of this pyruvate. So before we proceed forward, let's try to briefly explain what is pyruvate. Pyruvate, this is simply the product of glycolysis, basically a pivotal 3-carbon molecule in cellular metabolism. Now in the stage of glycolysis, we can now briefly bring the state of glycolysis. The state of glycolysis, this is how it goes. We said good girlfriend, right? Good girlfriend fill glass daily by 3 pg, 2 pg, party people laugh. Let's put this one down. Good girl friend. I need you to pay attention here. If you are writing the girlfriend, the second girl actually stands for glucose 6-phosphate, while the friend stands for fructose 6-phosphate. We said the glycolysis carry 10 separate intermediate, apart from what? The glucose and the lactate. In this case, if you try to join the girl and the friend together, you're going to be missing fructose. So you need to separate it. We have good girlfriend fill glass daily. By 3 pg, 2 pg, party, people, laugh, and the laugh actually stands for lactate. So, using the mnemonics to recall the step of glycolysis seems to be easy. Yeah, I think it's going to be easy this time around. The only confusing part is arranging the numbers of carbon atoms in the molecule. And these carbon atoms in the molecules involved in every step, they simply indicate the progression of chemical action as glucose is gradually broken down into smaller molecules. So let me just write it down, then we can explain that better later. So let's assume here we have, let's see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the last one 12. And you should put this at the back of your mind. The glycolysis carries 10 separate intermediate, apart from the what? The glucose and the lactate. So, using the mnemonics, right? We said the confusing part is arranging the numbers of carbon atoms. Here we have 1 to 12. Next thing you need to put at the back of your mind, let's just call this to be left, and let's find our right. This is 1 to 12. The right is going to be 1 to 9. So, how to arrange this? Let's say here we have 0, 6, 6, 1, 6, 3, 0, 1, 3, 3, 2. Alright, the first one is simply going to be 0, next is 6, 6, 1, 6, 3, 0, which is this, 30, and next we are going to have 1, 3, sorry, it's not 1, 3. In this case, if we have comma, we're not going to separate it. Here is going to be 1, 3, here is going to be 3, and here is going to be 2. So in whatever you're doing, just make sure that you have 9 different places. But before we move forward, if you notice, you see on number 1 and on number 6, we have 0. This simply indicates that we doesn't have any numbers of carbon atom there. We're going to cancel them. So let's see how we can use our left hand side and our right hand side in order to bring back the whole steps. So starting with the first one, which is girl. good. This simply stands for glucose. And you should be noticing both your left hand side and your right hand side using the numbers. On the right hand side, on number 1 is 0. It's cancelled, so we doesn't have any carbon atoms there. What about number 2? We have girl. This simply stands for glucose. What about number 2 here? On the right hand side is 6. It's going to be what? Glucose 6 phosphate. What about number 3? On number 3 here, by our left hand side, we have friend. This simply stands for what? Fructose. What do we have on number 3? We have 6. It's going to be fructose 6 phosphate. What about number 4? In this case, number 4 is Phil. This actually stands for fructose as well. So what do we have on number 4? We have 1,6. Instead of 6 here is 1,6. It's going to be what? In this time around, it's not going to be phosphate, it's going to be biophosphate. So what do we have on number 5? In our left hand side, we have glass. This glass simply stands for glyceraldehyde. Let's write it down. Do we have anything on number 6? By our right hand side, yes, we have 3. Glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate. What do we have on number 6? On number 6, we have daily. What do we have on number 6 here? On number 6 here, we doesn't have any carbon atom. So the daily simply stands for dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So what do we have on number 7? We have bi, which stands for by. But next thing I need you to focus on is this. From number 1 to number 6, this is going to be middle, meaning the carbon atoms are going to be at the middle. And from number 7 to number 9 is going to be front. I'm going to show you that. So here on number 7 we have bio, and it's in our right hand side we said all the carbon atoms are going to be indicated in the front. So this time around on number 7 is we are going to have 1,3, and the bi stand for biophosphate. So what do we have next? We have 3Pg, right? Which is on number 8. At number 8 we have 3. This simply indicates that it's going to be 3. What is the Pg? Is phosphate glycerate. Here we are going to have phosphate glycerate. What about 2Pg? On number 9 we have 2, and here is 2Pg. It's going to be what? 2, that is the numbers of carbon atom, is going to be phosphate glycerate. So number 10, 11 and 12 doesn't have any carbon atoms there. Number 10, which is party, this simply stands for phosphenyl pyruvate. This is the spelling. And number 11, which is people, stand for the pyruvate. And the last one, LAF, this is the lactate. So this is it for this problem. In our next video, we are going to gradually explain each and every steps that involves in the glycolysis. But in this video, as I promised, we are just going to briefly explain the concept of glycolysis and bring out the mnemonics and simple short tricks which can help us to memorize glycolysis, and we have done that. So this is it for this video. Thank you.